today with Ed McDonald, who's obviously one of the big contenders for this weekend's race. Ed's raced a lot of solo 24s, always come through very strong. Last couple of years you swapped to racing with gears, gone a lot faster still. How are you feeling about this weekend's race?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I've had a really good solid couple months of training and not much sickness, so looking forward to it a lot. Should be quite a fun course and the weather's looking absolutely perfect, so pretty excited for the race.
Fantastic. I understand you've changed some of the way you're training at the moment, looking at doing longer Ks.
I did a lot of long Ks over summer, much like Jason in fact, although not quite to the same extent. So I've just had basically about 3 months out doing really big weeks, 35-hour weeks, and then toning it down gradually over the course of the next few months and bringing in a bit more intensity.
What sort of riding do you do? You do a lot of road or you do a lot of mountain?
I do a lot of commuting, so basically I'm basing it around the middle part of the day, so riding in the morning to work one way or another and having a few adventures in the evening. That can be either road or mountain. So in the last couple of weeks I've been sneaking out here a bit at night to do some laps and then going absolutely nuts on the weekend doing big rides or races.
Fantastic. So you obviously do quite a bit of night riding. You're feeling quite confident at night?
Yeah, that's the bit I'm really looking forward to with this race actually. I think the course will change at night and you won't be able to see how steep the climb is as well, or Stromoli just takes on a different nature at night and it's always a really nice place to ride, and the sort of timelessness that you get in that period, it can be really easy to press on and maintain a consistent pace, I find.
I think Jason McAvoy was involved in setting the course. Yep. What do you feel about Jason's course?
It's definitely going to decide who should win the jersey. I think it's a tough course, but it's also got some technical challenges, which is good to see. So I think we'll see fairly big time gaps on this course. I don't think we're going to see a close race. I think that the course will also push people quite hard. So if you go out very hard very early, it might not be the best strategy simply because the climbs are so difficult you'll actually blow yourself into the red. It won't be a course for consistent lap times. There'll be big deviations between the lap times you start at and the lap times you do at 4 a.m, 11 a.m. perhaps. And it's not one where we'll see riders lifting the pace drastically towards the end again either, I think.
Yep. Okay. So what about, where do you see in the course, you talked about the climbs, what do you see as being the decisive elements of the course? Some technical challenges and some climbs?
Yeah, there are two really challenging sections on this course. The first one is the single track section up through Blue Tongue and then down Little Seymour, which is very tight, quite rocky, a few rock gardens both up and down. So there are plenty of bits that can catch you out if you're not paying much attention there and lead to a mechanical or a nasty crash. The other decisive part will be the fire road climb out the back. That's changed in the last week, but I haven't ridden the new one yet. But having a look at the profile, it still looks like it's well over 10%. So you're looking at a climb that over the course of a few hours will definitely take a toll, let alone looking 12, 16 hours into a race. So the time gaps there will be significant.
Yeah. So sort of looking at that as big time gaps and a big fade throughout the race, are you looking to go out pretty steadily and hold it for the race, or are you going to stamp your authority from the first hour?
Stamp my authority. Yeah, look, I've tried both strategies and had inconsistent luck with both of them, so I'm not too sure really. I'll see how I feel on the day. I'm sure I'll get a bit excited and want to go fast early. Everyone does. Yep. The temptation of setting a hot lap early is hard to resist. But I think conservatism will be a wiser strategy on this track.
I used to always race with a heart rate monitor for the first 8 hours to try and keep a lid on things, because you're feeling obviously so fit and so strong. You're looking incredibly lean. Do you try the heart rate monitor strategy?
I've never ridden with a heart rate monitor.
Really?
I've never ridden with a heart rate monitor or a parameter. I've still got aspects of being a hairy-legged single speeder and just going by feel and doing what my heart wants. I'm a little bit more robust and disciplined with it now, but I've still retained that kind of thing of really trying to listen to my body for signals of how I'm going, which does go spectacularly wrong every now and then, because either you think you're going too well or you think you're not going well enough, and you can never read your body perfectly. But I think it's just the way I've done it. It's the way I feel comfortable doing it. So
And after thrashing Jason English recently at the Rocky Trail Rocky Trail 100 here, you got to sort of feel pretty confident coming into this weekend.
Yeah, well, Jason went up on the podium, and the first thing he said was a sneaky comment that if the race had actually gone for 100 miles, we would have had a different result. So I guess we're going to find out if his sneaky comment was complete rubbish, or if he
Bravado
was actually...
or something else.
Yeah, if it was sour grapes from second place, or quite justified. I think in that case it was quite justified, but I think the other point would have been that, you know, we knew that the race was 5 laps and it was about riding to that distance. So this is obviously a very different distance. And yeah, Jason is obviously massively experienced with 24 hours and has the ability to accelerate at any point in the race. So in my mind, he's definitely the favourite. He'll sit back and watch and plot slowly and just do everything right, the little things right, and we'll see how he goes.
Is there an theme song?
Yeah, speaking of Jason, I understand he's had a crash and broken collarbone, recovering. What do you make of his strength at the moment?
I think his fitness is still top notch. I think he raced at Armidale 12-hour last weekend as his taper lead up for the race, and beat all the teams, so that's a fairly ominous sign. Yeah, look, it's going to be interesting, having had a crash a few weeks ago and hurting his shoulder with the rougher parts of Strumline, and how well he'll go with that, if he's going to be able to, you know, actively lift the front wheel over obstacles in the latter part of the race. So I think the door might be open fractionally more than it has been in the past few years, always because Jason has come in seeming invincible, and this year, because he's had a bit of bad luck, unfortunately for him, it's that aura of invincibility isn't quite so much there.
Yeah. So probably the difference made at 3 a.m. really. What goes through your mind at 3 a.m?
All sorts of things. I used to joke that I'd start to think about entropy and the heat death of the universe and blow my mind to pieces. Yeah, usually not a lot. Usually I'm singing a really bad song or a Christmas carol, and thinking about dawn and just trying to keep it really, really simple. I actually remember talking to Jason one of these races a few years ago and asking, what do you think about these times? Like, breakfast, sunrise, just keeping it very, very simple. If you try to make it, I think, a little bit too profound, you can risk blowing your head up a bit.
I used to have some terrible little delusions that the race had been called off, and that no one had told me, and I was still out trying to crack out races because Sarah didn't want to break it to me that the race had been called. You ever gone through those sort of bad patches?
I've gone through some very lonely patches in the nationals races at night when I don't see anyone for a few hours and I go a bit crazy. I've never quite had that one. I've certainly had a lot of dreams where I'm in a 24-hour race and I've gone and pulled the pin and fallen asleep while in the lead or something at the side of the track. I have dreams of that a lot, but that hasn't happened in the race. Fortunately, I've been pretty good with that. Have some minor hallucinations where sticks come to life and stumps acquire faces and such things.
Yep.
But,
the black dogs?
Yeah, a few black dogs. Lots of spiders at Strumlo, but I think that's not a delusion.
I've certainly noticed a few out here during the teams races when my head
That's
was probably
right. And a few roos. There'll be plenty of kangaroos hopping around, so it'll be a matter of working out which kangaroos are in fact slightly lifelike stumps and which ones are real life roos.
The real deal.
Yep.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for speaking to us today,
No
Ed. Word out to your sponsors. Who are you looked after by at the moment?
Target Trek mountain bike race team. So we've got Trek bikes on board of the bikes, and Target behind as a major sponsor. So all the good bits, Shimano, Bontrager, Fox stuff. So yeah, I'm really, really happy to be on some great product this year, and hopefully it's going to help me out in a big way.
Fantastic.
Cheers.
Good luck out there. Enjoy it.
Thank you. Time to roll a lap. I think guys are turning up.